Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Lalema Aneja Dang, and with me is Abhijit Loring with the evening news. The headlines: 9 employees killed in fire at Salaam Hydroelectric plant in Telangana. President, Vice President and Prime Minister express grief on loss of lives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.30%. Election Commission issues detailed guidelines related to key activities for conducting upcoming state elections and by-elections during COVID-19 pandemic period. Total sowing area coverage under Kharif crops increases by more than 8.5% this year. National Sports Awards 2020 announced. Cricketer Rohit Sharma, para-athlete Mariyappan Thangavelu, table tennis player Manika Batra, wrestler Vinesh Phogat and hockey player Rani Rampal to receive Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. In Telangana, all 9 employees who were trapped in fire at Salaam Hydroelectric plant have been killed and about 20 workers escaped. These workers, including engineers, were inside the tunnel when the fire broke out. State Energy Minister Jagadish Reddy informed media that 6 bodies have been recovered from Salaam left bank powerhouse so far. Fire broke out at one of the hydroelectricity power generating units last night. The cause of the fire has not been established yet. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has ordered a CID inquiry to find out the cause of the fire accident. Telangana state government has announced an ex gratia payment of 50 lakh rupees to the family of the divisional engineer Srinivas Gaud, who died in the fire accident today. Kin of others who perished in the accident will be given 25 lakh rupees. Telangana State Power Generation Corporation Limited said the fire accident occurred in the 900 megawatt capacity hydroelectric power station on the left bank of Salaam Reservoir last night. It said the fire broke out in the panels in Unit 1 of the power station, which led to the accident. The President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister have expressed grief on the loss of lives in the fire accident at Salaam Hydroelectric plant in Telangana. In a tweet, President Ramnath Kovind said he is pained by the loss of lives in the tragic fire accident. He said, in this hour of grief, his thoughts are with the bereaved families and wished speedy recovery of the injured. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said he is distressed by the loss of lives in the accident and his thoughts are with the families of the bereaved. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said fire at the Salaam Hydroelectric plant is deeply unfortunate. He said his thoughts are with the bereaved families. He wished speedy recovery to the injured.
The recovery rate from COVID-19 has improved to 74.30%. India registered 62,282 recoveries in the last 24 hours. With this, a total of 21,58,946 people have recovered in the country so far. The case fatality rate continues to show a steady decline and now stands at 1.89%. The Health Ministry said that 68,898 new cases of COVID-19 were registered in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 29,05,823. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 6,92,028. During the last 24 hours, 983 deaths were reported, taking the total to 54,849. Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) said that till yesterday, 3,34,67,237 tests were conducted. Of these, 8,05,985 tests were conducted yesterday alone. The number of COVID-19 samples testing labs across the country has increased to 1,504. In view of the rising COVID-19 cases in Punjab, Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh has ordered a series of emergency measures, including extension of weekend lockdown in all 167 cities and towns in the state and night curfew daily from 7 p.m. till 5 a.m. The measures came into effect from today. The decisions were taken by the Chief Minister during a virtual meeting with top officials to review the COVID situation. Meanwhile, further spike in COVID-19 cases were reported in Punjab today as 1,513 people were tested positive. 856 patients were also discharged from various hospitals after recovery. 34 patients have lost their lives till now. Our correspondent reports so far 23,893 patients have been cured and 991 have died due to this infection in the state. Now 14,443 people are under treatment in various hospitals of the state. In the Union Territory of Chandigarh today, 116 people tested positive for COVID-19. Our correspondent reports 36 patients were discharged after recovery today. 2 patients lost their lives. With this, the total number of persons found positive so far in Chandigarh has risen to 2,631, out of which 1,426 have been cured and 1,170 are under treatment. 35 patients have died so far.
In Mizoram, the state government has extended the ongoing total lockdown in Aizawl municipal area till 4:30 a.m. 24th of August. The decision has been taken in view of the extensive contact tracing necessitated by the detection of new COVID-19 cases in the last few days. In an order issued by the Chief Secretary, Lalnun Mawiyal Chuwango, said the decision has also been taken to do more random sample tests to sustain the containment efforts. In Meghalaya, 57 new COVID-19 cases were registered today, taking the total active cases to 963. Director of Health Services Dr. Aman War informed media this evening that 19 patients recovered today. So far, 749 people have recovered. With 963 active cases, 749 recovered and 6 deceased. The total confirmed cases in Meghalaya stands at 1,718. Nagaland reported 36 new COVID-19 cases today, taking the total cases in the state to 3,619. Health and Family Welfare Minister S. Pangyu Pom tweeted this afternoon that 144 patients have also recovered from the infection. The state's active cases stand at 1,540, while 2,065 patients have recovered from the infection. So far, 7 have lost their lives.
Kerala continued to report a surge in COVID-19 cases as 1,968 new cases were confirmed today. Here's more from a correspondent.
The State Health Department informed in the official release that among the new cases, 1,777 persons contracted the virus through local transmission. 35 healthcare workers were also infected by the virus. Bringing relief, 1,419 recoveries were also reported today. The total active COVID cases in Kerala rose to 18,673. Meanwhile, the death toll in the state due to COVID reached 203 as 12 more deaths were confirmed today. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In the Union Territory of Puducherry, 313 people have tested positive for the coronavirus infections and 6 have died so far. Our correspondent reports that 3,517 people are currently under treatment.
According to the COVID-19 status report for today, released by the Health Department, 299 new cases were reported in Puducherry region, 8 in Karaikal, 5 in Yanam and 1 in Mahe region. As many as 300 persons were discharged. 6 persons, 5 in Puducherry region and 1 in Karaikal died. Presently, 1,392 persons are being treated in hospitals in Puducherry region, 77 in Karaikal, 81 in Yanam and 3 in Mahe. Another 1,964 positive cases are under home isolation. So far, 9,594 persons were infected by the virus, of which 5,934 were treated and discharged. 143 died, leaving 3,517 active cases here. Chandramohan, Yar News, Puducherry.
Telangana Pradesh Congress Committee TPCC Treasurer Narayan Reddy today urged State Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan to use her discretionary powers and submit a report to President Ramnath Kovind on the alleged mishandling of the COVID-19 situation by the state government. In an apparent reference to some of the recent tweets of the governor about the need for testing, tracking and treating COVID-19 infected in the state, the Congress leader also urged the governor to make public her suggestions to the state government in this regard. The Congress leader also condemned the statements made by a few TRS leaders against the governor.
The Maharashtra government has extended 50 lakh rupees insurance cover to private doctors who die of coronavirus infection during the pandemic. In a circular issued yesterday, Director of State Health Services Dr. Sadhana Taire said the insurance cover, which is being given to doctors in government and semi-government services, has now been extended to private medical practitioners who succumb to the infection. Meanwhile, at least 303 personnel of the Maharashtra police tested positive for coronavirus, while 5 died of the infection in the last 24 hours. An official today informed that the latest casualties have taken the death toll in the police force to 136, which includes 14 officers. With 62 deaths, Mumbai police had recorded the highest number of casualties in the force due to the pandemic. Of the 13,180 personnel, 10,655 have recovered from the disease so far. The results of Pune's first antibody seroprevalence study released earlier this week has provided some valuable insights into how the disease has spread in Pune and whether the outbreak may be nearing its end in the city. Further study on the stability of these antibodies is going on at IISER. Here's a report from our Pune correspondent.
According to a recent sero survey, about 50% of the people in the 5 corona-infected areas in the city of Pune have developed antibodies that can prevent corona. Now the research is going on in Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, popularly known as IISER, on the stability of these antibodies in human body. Simultaneously, they will try to find out remedies for making these antibodies more stable. No new blood sample will be taken for the study. It will be based on a sample taken during a sero survey. However, the experts from IISER have said that the research will take at least another 5 to 6 weeks. Perhaps this research will shed more light on the process of the formation of these antibodies, which could also help in the ongoing research on anti-corona vaccines. Nitin Kelkar, AIR News, Pune.
Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, many groups have shown their courage to fight the pandemic collectively, staying at home and providing whatever help they can do to those frontline warriors. In Manipur, a cooperative society had manufactured more than 10,000 face masks and distributed free of cost to the COVID-19 warriors. More than 4,300 workers under the banner of the Renu Handloom and Handicraft Cooperative Society have toiled day and night to meet the growing demands of face masks and providing it to the warriors. Here's a report from our Imphal correspondent.
Renu Handloom and Handicrafts Cooperative Society located at Mantripuki of Imphal West District has proven that it is possible to join the fight against COVID-19 by the available resources and skills and staying at home. The society, which operates in cooperative model, has received many accolades and awards at national and international in handloom and handicraft sectors. Now the workers of the society, working at different 43 centers across Manipur state, has been producing cotton cloths and stitching face masks to provide this mandatory COVID-19 protective gears to those needy people, especially frontline workers. The secretary of the society, Arambam Renu, said to AIR News,
कोरोना का बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. मेरा दिन क्या है, ये मेरे पैसा नहीं है, खाली मेरा सामान क्या गिफ्ट देगा ऐसा करता है. मेरा कपड़ा है, मेरा कपड़ा का है, मास्क का बनाता है. मैं 10,000 दिया है और दिया है मैं फ्री में दिया है, 1 टका भी नहीं लिया मैं डोनेट में दिया है.
The pandemic could be defeated as more such selfless contribution is put into the efforts of the government from various sections. JJ Thoksom from Imphal for AIR News.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, President of Public Health Foundation of India, Dr. K. Srinath Reddy said, India is in a much better position as compared to the rest of the world as far as the COVID-19 cases are concerned, and the measures taken are yielding results.
अब तक जो नतीजे निकले हैं उससे पता चलता है कि ये वायरस का प्रभाव को रोकने में हम काफी कामयाबी हासिल कर चुके हैं दूसरे देशों के मुकाबले में. आज का हालात जो है उसमें कोई संशय नहीं है कि हमारा हालात दूसरे देशों के मुकाबले में बेहतर है.
In our series on Atmanirbhar Bharat today, we bring you a special story on a microwave device named Atulya. The device Atulya can disinfect any premises in just 30 seconds, disintegrating COVID-19 virus. certified by the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, and based on French and American standards, the device is 100% made in India. The Atulya microwave device can be used to disinfect any premises up to 5 meters of area, besides surface areas, home and office furniture, beds, new boxes, and even the contents of the boxes. The device disintegrates the COVID-19 virus with the help of differential heating in the range of 56 to 60 degrees Celsius temperatures. This equipment can be hand-handled as its weight is a mere 3 kilograms. The positive thing about this device is that it is 100% safe for humans and does not emit ultraviolet rays for disinfection that could be harmful to the human body. Depending upon the size and shape of the object, the disinfection time is 30 seconds to 1 minute. The product is cost-effective solution which can be operated in portable or fixed installations. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. 9 employees killed in fire at Salaam Hydroelectric plant in Telangana. President, Vice President and Prime Minister expressed grief on the loss of lives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.30%. Election Commission issues detailed guidelines related to key activities for conducting upcoming state elections and by-elections during COVID-19 pandemic period. Total sowing area coverage under Kharif crop increases by more than 8.5% this year. National Sports Awards 2020 announced cricketer Rohit Sharma, para-athlete Mariappam Thangavelu, table tennis player Manika Batra, wrestler Vinesh Phogat and hockey player Rani Rampal to receive Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
Election Commission has issued detailed guidelines related to key activities for conducting the upcoming general elections and by-elections in various states and union territories during the period of COVID-19 pandemic. The guidelines laid down strict compliance norms to be followed by candidates and officials conducting the elections. Those who found violating the instructions on COVID-19 measures even during the campaign process will be liable to be proceeded against as per the provisions of the Disaster Management Act 2005. During the campaign process, not more than 5 people have been allowed for door-to-door campaigning. During the road shows, the convoy should have a gap after every set of 5 vehicles, and public gatherings and rallies can be conducted with strict adherence to the COVID-19 guidelines. The guidelines state that every person has to wear a face mask during election-related activity. Thermal scanning of all persons has also been necessitated at every entry point. Sanitizers, soap and water shall be made available in the premises. Social distancing shall be maintained as per the COVID-19 guidelines of the state government and the Ministry of Home Affairs. The guidelines also say that a maximum of only 1,000 voters should be allowed in a polling station at a given point in time instead of the current norm of 1,500 voters. The Election Commission in its guidelines has also stated that the training of election officials should be organized in a decentralized manner at large halls. It has also stressed on online modules of training as far as possible. All necessary forms, including the nomination form, will be available online on the website of CEO and DEO for the intending candidates. Candidates can even deposit the security money through online mode at the designated platform. During the filing of nomination papers, only 2 persons and vehicles are allowed to accompany a candidate. The Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC, relaxed norms to pay 50% of the average wages of 3 months as unemployment benefit between March the 24th and December the 31st this year in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The ESIC took the decision in its 182nd meeting held yesterday under the chairmanship of Union Labour and Employment Minister Santosh Kumar Gangwar. ESIC is implementing the Atal Bimit Vyakti Kalyan Yojana, under which unemployment benefit is paid to workers covered under Employees State Insurance ESI scheme. The ESIC has decided to extend the scheme for 1 more year up to the 30th of June next year. The National Testing Agency, NTA, has informed that it has made elaborate arrangements to comply with the guidelines of Ministry of Education for conducting examinations including NEET and JEE. It said the examination centers will be sanitized both before and after the examination, and the candidates can also ask for fresh masks and hand gloves at the center. The NTA has also sought support of the state authorities to ensure proper law and order condition, power supply, crowd management in front of exam centers, and facilitation of movement of candidates and exam functionaries. The agency has issued, along with the admit cards, important instructions for candidates as well as advisory for candidates regarding COVID-19. The NTA has informed that over 75% JEE candidates have already downloaded their admit cards. It further said that over 99% of the candidates appearing for both NEET and JEE have been allotted their first preference as examination centers in order to avert instances of inconvenience. Total sowing area coverage under Kharif crops in the country has registered an increase of more than 8.5% this year compared to the corresponding period last year. Kharif crops have been sown in nearly 1,063 lakh hectare area of the country till now. Cultivation of one of the staple crops, rice, has witnessed an increase of nearly 12% in its total sowing area, whereas oilseed cultivation has registered a spike of over 14%. 6% higher rainfall than the normal in the country has also raised hopes of a bumper Kharif produce this year.
Khadi and Village Industries Commission (KVIC) has issued legal notices to Khadi Essentials and Khadi Global. It has said that these two firms are unauthorizedly and fraudulently using the brand name Khadi. KVIC in a statement has said that the two firms are engaged in selling a range of cosmetic and beauty products through various e-commerce platforms using the brand name Khadi and thus misleading consumers. In the notices served to Khadi Essentials and Khadi Global earlier this month, KVIC asked them to stop selling or promoting products using the brand name Khadi. It also asked them to cancel the domain names www.khadiessentials.com and www.khadiglobalstore.com. The two firms have also been told to discontinue the social media handles. In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a segment on Fact Check and Mythbusters. It is being claimed across several social media platforms that the name of Mughal Gardens at the Rashtrapati Bhavan will be changed. Government has denied the claim and termed it to be false. It said no decision has been taken to rename the Mughal Gardens, spread over 15 acres of vast expanse at the Presidential Palace in New Delhi. In yet another ceasefire violation, Pakistani army troops initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing with small arms and heavy mortar shelling along the LOC in Mankot sector of District Poonch in the evening today. PRO Defence said alert Indian army troops guarding the fence retaliated befittingly with equal caliber. The exchange of fire continued till reports last came in. Further details are awaited. Benchmark indices today resumed their ascent after a day's breather amid a rebound in global markets. Rupee also strengthened 18 paise against the US currency. More from the business world.
The 30-share BSE Sensex ended 214 points, or 0.56% higher at 38,435. Similarly, the NSE Nifty rose 59 points, or 0.53% to close at 11,372. The broader market at the BSE outperformed the Sensex. Mid-cap rose 0.57% and small-cap surged 1.41%. The rupee today settled 18 paise higher at 74 rupees and 84 paise against the US dollar. Gold prices declined by 94 rupees to 52,990 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital. Silver prices, however, rose by 782 rupees to 69,262 rupees per kilogram. Arjuna Chaudhary with Sanjay Kumar Singh for AIR News.
The government today announced the National Sports Awards 2020. Cricketer Rohit Sharma, para-athlete Mariappan Thangavelu, table tennis player Manika Batra, wrestler Vinesh Phogat, and Indian women's hockey team captain Rani Rampal will receive the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. The award is conferred on sportspersons for spectacular and most outstanding performance in the field of sports for over a period of 4 years. This year, 27 sportspersons have been selected for the Arjuna Award for consistent outstanding performance for 4 years. They are archer Atanu Das, athlete Duti Chand, Shuttlers Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag C. Shetty. Basketball player Vishesh Briguvanshi. Boxers Subedar Manish Kaushik and Lavlina Borgohen. Cricketer Ishant Sharma and Deepti Sharma. Equestrian player Sawant Ajay Anand. Footballer Sandesh Jhingan. Golfer Aditya Ashok. Hockey players Akash Deep Singh and Deepika. Kabaddi player Deepak. Kho-kho player Kale Sarika Sudhakar. Rower Dattu Babban Bhokanal. Shooter Manu Bhakar and Saurabh Chaudhary. Table tennis player Madhurika Suhas Patkar. Tennis player Divij Sharan. Winter sports player Shiva Keshavan. Wrestlers Divya Kakaran and Rahul Avare. Paraswimmer Suyash Narayan Jadhav. Para-athlete Sandeep and parachuter Manish Narwal. In the lifetime category, Dronacharya Award will be given to Dharmendra Tiwari for archery, Purushottam Rai for athletics, Shiv Singh for boxing, Romesh Pathania for hockey, Krishna Kumar Hooda for kabaddi, Vijay Balachandran Munishwar for para-powerlifting, Naresh Kumar for tennis and Om Prakash Dahiya for wrestling. In the regular category, Dronacharya Award will be given to Jude Felix Sebastian for hockey, Yogesh Malvya for Malakhamb, Jaspal Rana for shooting, Kuldeep Kumar Handu for wushu, and Gaurav Khanna for para-badminton. Dronacharya Award goes to the coaches for producing medal winners at prestigious international sports events. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written a letter to former cricketer Suresh Raina, hailing his contribution towards the Indian cricket. Suresh Raina announced his retirement from international cricket on the 15th of August. In the letter, the Prime Minister has said that generations will remember Raina not only as a fine batsman, but also as a very useful bowler who the captain could turn to when the situation demanded. He said his fielding was exemplary and inspiring, and some of the best catches in recent international cricket have his distinctive imprint.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. It will have a minimum temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius and maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 27 and 35 degrees. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Onto the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 34 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 18 degrees, while the maximum will be 29 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Ladakh will have partly cloudy clear sky. The temperature will hover between 19 and 30 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 20 and 33 degrees Celsius. It will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Muzaffarabad will witness mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 23 and 33 degrees Celsius.
In Maharashtra, hectic preparations are underway in households and pandals ahead of the 10-day Ganesh festival that commences from tomorrow. With easing of restrictions, people have been visiting markets to purchase all the essentials and required items for the installation of Ganesha idols. With the outbreak of COVID, the state government and the city's civic body has come up with guidelines to celebrate the festival. President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu have greeted people on Ganesh Chaturthi. Mr. Kovind said the festival of Ganesh Chaturthi, celebrated as the birthday of Lord Ganesh, is an expression of people's enthusiasm, joy and forbearance in taking every section of society along on this occasion. On this festival, he called upon people to pledge to strengthen mutual harmony, fraternity and unity among all citizens of the country. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said, Lord Ganesh is revered as an embodiment of wisdom, prosperity and good fortune. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 9 employees killed in fire at Salaam Hydroelectric plant in Telangana. President, Vice President and Prime Minister express grief on loss of lives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 74.30%. Election Commission issues detailed guidelines related to key activities for conducting upcoming state elections and by-elections during COVID-19 pandemic period. Total sowing area coverage under Kharif crops increases by more than 8.5% this year. And National Sports Awards 2020 announced cricketer Rohit Sharma, para-athlete Mariappan Thangavelu, table tennis player Manika Batra, wrestler Vinesh Phogat and hockey player Rani Rampal to receive Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.